send it down now to the third member of our broadcasting team for the Gatorade Herd Around the Core Report. It's Pete Yanity.
Mike, what a big day it was Sunday. A big homecoming it was when Travell Wharton was re-signed by the club. He was a free agent after playing in Cincinnati last year. The veteran offensive lineman really provides some key depth there. Of course, Wharton grew up in Greenville, South Carolina, started at the University of South Carolina, and spent his first 8 professional seasons with the very Panthers. He had 99 starts. Ron Rivera was elated to get him back because he provides some great depth, not only at guard, but at tackle. There's a good chance he could start the opener against Seattle at left guard. For Wharton, he said, you know what, it's just so great to be back putting on the black and the blue. I might have taken that for granted, but I'm happy to be back in the Carolinas.
And we're happy to have him back. Travell Wharton. I'm sure they were on the same page right there as we check in with our own Pete Yanity.
I'll tell you what, you mentioned turnovers. Ron Rivera has the guys coming back to the huddle on offensive plays in practice, protecting the ball. On defense, what he's doing and what he's really emphasizing is, even on an incomplete pass, he wants the linebackers, defensive backs to chase after the loose ball that may be just fluttering on the field, to get used to going after the football. Last year, the Panthers' turnover ratio +1. If they can get that up to double figures, that will be a big step, a step the coach wants to see happen.
Good points of contact on the football, Pete. Very nice.
Again, a veteran, you probably know all about him. Seems like he's been in the league forever, and he was on that 49ers team that played in the Super Bowl. But over the past few years, he had taken on the reputation of more of a return man than a wide receiver. He has said he comes to the Panthers with a chip on his shoulder, wanting to reestablish himself as a wideout. In the early part of the game, of course, a 35-yard touchdown, then, of course, a nearly 90-yarder moments ago. But Ted Ginn, certainly a big night so far. 5 grabs for about 150 yards. It's a 10-point Panthers lead, late second quarter. Coming up on our AT&T halftime report, we'll give you a full recap of what's been an electrifying opening half at times, and a look at our Bud Light scoreboard. And of course, the past 2 seasons, you've seen Ron Rivera coach. Coming up at the half, you're going to hear him on the sidelines.
I know, hey, that's the way to play emotional football. Okay?
Yeah, I was hyped, though.
That's exactly the way to do it, okay? Get your breath back. You got to get ready to go again, okay?
Yeah, man.
Nice job, kiddo.
You ready to bring it
Possible.
Here at halftime, the Panthers holding the 17-10 lead. Those are the Chicago boys acrobatic team entertaining the folks at halftime of this final preseason game. Pete Yanity with you, and all the NFL teams are in action tonight as we welcome you to our AT&T halftime show. Let's take a look at our Bud Light scoreboard, as of course over the next day and a half, teams will cut down so they get their action in tonight. You see what's going on in Cincinnati, in Buffalo where it's a rout, and also the Jets and Philly still that strange score. Other action tonight includes New Orleans playing at Miami. There's Atlanta at home against Jacksonville. New England and the Giants in the second quarter, 7-point game. Elsewhere, Washington and Tampa Bay, a 20-6 Redskins lead. Tennessee's up on Minnesota in the second. Chicago leading Cleveland up on the banks of Lake Michigan. Battle of Texas in the Big D. Green Bay and KC are playing, and Baltimore and St. Louis likewise. And some other games come up later on tonight. Ron Rivera is an intense head coach. He certainly is into every play of every game. In a moment, you're going to experience that.
Hey, let's set the tempo now.
As our halftime continues, Panthers have a 17-10 lead. It's the final game of the preseason. The intensity of the regular season is almost upon us. Next week is when it all begins. You've seen Ron Rivera and a wave of emotions during a ball game out of the Panthers head coach in his first 2 seasons. Tonight, we show you those, but you hear them as well.
Congratulations.
And you see an example of the coach's attention to detail, something he has even further emphasized throughout the offseason and throughout the preseason. Our second half is coming up. The Panthers and Steelers. Mike Morgan and Mike Rucker return in a moment on the Panthers Television Network. Now a 20-10 Panthers lead here in the third quarter. Pete Yanity back with you. You know this guy is Steve Smith, who is in the role of fan tonight because fourth preseason game. You've done this a bunch of times. So you're watching, you're seeing some pretty interesting stuff out of some guys tonight.
I mean, you know, obviously we got to start off with the offense. That's what moves the charts. That's what sells the tickets. You know, and Ted Ginn has done a fantastic job, you know, When he first got here, that was one of the things he said is he wants to make a team a home, wants to make a home. So he's thirsty, he's hungry, and so you're just seeing an excellent display of that. A guy that's taking advantage of all his opportunities. And obviously, Josh Norman coming up with another big play in the game. So he's making a very good, solid showing tonight.
We were talking about on the telecast earlier, you've got to be excited because with Ted's speed maybe on the other side, that's going to certainly even draw further pressure away from you, maybe open up some opportunity.
I mean, with Ted's speed, yes, but I just think his knowledge, his expertise,